Hi, I'm Russell Schindler, CEO of SampleServe. Municipal drinking water sampling has historically been a problem. Lots of paper involved, lots of data entry problems. So SampleServe has developed our SampleH2O product, and that's designed to facilitate sample collection, sample data transmission to the laboratory. Let's go to Frank Swires, our SampleServe CTO, to tell us more about the product.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of the main screen that a laboratory technician would look at. This is showing them all the samples that they have either out in the field, in progress that they're working on in their lab, yet to report back to a customer, etc. And so each one of these is identified by a sample ID number. And the way that starts actually is by creating those sample kits, we call them. So we do that over here in print labels. And our default sample kit is 3 labels, one for each of 2 bottles and one for the bag that the kit goes into. And we'll just print 2 labels, uh, and it creates a PDF file that you can actually print. And so since we had 3 samples, 2 bottles in the kit bag, you can see that there are 3 labels for each sample number. So 83-1, 83-1, 83-1, bottle, put it on the bag, and then 84-4, 84-4, 84-4, bottle, put that on the bag. So now you have enough to build up 2 kits to hand out to customers.
And that would go to a label printing machine. It would print out the label.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And then you can see here back in that main screen I was just showing you earlier, those 2 new labels that we just created. Those are now printed and ready to be given out to customers. So I can show you, if you want, how actually a customer would interact with your system.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. So help me remember the label number, 83-1. So on your website, you would put a link on your website for the customer to be able to fill out the detail associated with collecting the water sample. So they click on a link on your website, it takes them to this page, which is branded for you, and they type
And
in.
so in the kit, you would have just some short instructions to go here, enter in your sample kit number, and then it would take you to the rest of what you're about to show us. And this will work on any device, right? Any internet device, laptop, tablet, Android phone, Apple phone, all the above, right? Just all you
Yep.
need is to get to the internet, and this will work.
Yep. This happens to be Microsoft Edge, and the other browser was Chrome, and yeah, it'll work on your phone and MacBooks and everything else. Yep. So the customer types in the instructions you provide them, you'll tell them, go to your website, click on this link, type in your sample ID, and then hit start. And then now they can fill out this information rather than typing it on a piece of paper. So the idea here is they've filled out their site information where they live. You can just push this button if they want the results to be reported back to them. If this was actually a home inspector, they might actually have a different address and a different email address, and they might want to send one copy of the reports to themselves, maybe one to the homeowner. I'm not going to do that right now. They can, if sometimes it's required that the results get reported to the health department. So if they select that, the fields pop up to allow them to accurately report this to the health department. If not, they don't need to. And then they request the types of tests that they want. So in one bottle, it's a bacteria test they're looking for, and by default, it's the current time. But if they did it yesterday and they're just filling out now, they could do that. And maybe they also want a nitrate test that they got at the kitchen sink. Same thing, probably did it at the same time. And now when they hit submit, this information is actually already in your database. You can actually see, if you go back to the staff view, the laboratory technician view, you can see this has already been filled out, and the status changed from printed to collected. Printed means you've got a bag ready to give to a customer. Collected means they've already filled it out, and they're probably going to be dropping it off at your site pretty soon. So then the next step, once the customer actually comes in and drops it off, you click the laboratory front desk person would click receive sample, and they just type in the sample number. We have logic in there that prevents them from mistyping numbers, and they can review this in case they think there are any errors. Everything looks good. They can do their lab checklist to make sure that it was received properly, and they can fill out the amount of information, the price, and if it's a check or a credit card, we'll actually ask them for the check number, etc. So now, if you notice, the status has changed again to receive. So receive means this is now in your lab. This is work that you have to do that you haven't reported yet. And so when a laboratory technician actually has processed the samples and is ready to report the results, they click on this again, and they come down here and they can see the test results. The person wanted a nitrate test and a bacteria test. And so they fill this out, and maybe laboratory technician and the date that they did the work. And we have quite a few defaults to make it easier, so you don't have to type a lot when it's not necessary. Just kind of picking random dates here. So now, once you've saved that, it's in your system, and the only thing left to do is email the report back to the customer. So you click email report if you want to send a copy to someone else or yourself as the lab technician. Maybe you want to see it for yourself just as a double check. You can do that. You click email report, and we're going to generate this report in the background and then send off all the results to the customer. And so now if you look at your email, you can see it just got it.
Yeah, and there's an email before that said your sample has been collected, collection date confirmation. So that's when an email you got when you collected the data and submitted it to the lab. And then the next one, the next email is, and you can customize that. The lab can customize that.
Yeah, thanks for catching that. Yep, this gives them some information on reminds them of where to drop the samples off. And then you can see, just 0 minutes ago, this was the report that we generated with the numbers that we typed in, if you were paying close enough attention, and signed by the director of your lab.
Great. And then it gets emailed literally within a matter of seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you tell me about exporting the data, and then how they would edit those templates that you just showed me?
Sure. Yeah, we got a couple things to see here. So, so if you want to export the data, which probably is because you're giving it to your accountant or your bookkeeper so you can track billing, you can actually pick which fields you want to print. And then what we do is you push generate report, and it actually creates a spreadsheet, comma separated value sheet, so that you can see all the work that has been done, all the reports that have been delivered to customers in the time frame that you specified, and then specifically which ones, the amount, the details of how they paid you, and if you're going to bill them, after the fact separately, the reporting information, so you can load this into your billing system and generate invoices.
And you can sort and filter that any way you want to.
It's a spreadsheet, so yeah, you got all the power to do whatever you want to.
So show me how they kind of customize those emails and the screens and get their logo on there.
Yeah, so everything's customizable. This is actually just a graphics file that I uploaded with our logo, our pretend lab logo. You would upload yours, and then you can type whatever text that you want. This is the page that they see when they first log in. This is the one that they saw when they clicked submit to submit the samples, and tells them where to go and shows them the address of your lab. That's just a Google map that I did and took an image of it. Pretty easy to do. One thing you might want to do is, like, if maybe you said we were going to be closed for Good Friday, it's now past Good Friday, you could change that because you want to update your business hours or your phone number. Just that quick, it's all updated, and the next customer that sees this, it'll show this way now. Same thing with the reporting and email. If you want to change, add a note, you can do that, and you have all the capabilities. This is just kind of like a word processor. It's a simple to use word processor that allows you to kind of customize this however you want.
Great. Is there anything else that you can think of?
Well, I think one thing that's probably pretty common is that people call up and want to know they've lost their report or they want another copy of it. And so, how do you find them? And if you've been doing this for a while, you may have thousands and thousands of samples in here. So we have this search tab, so you can actually type in just enough information. It'll tell you everybody, like for example, that has the name Jones in them, or if they want to tell you their phone number or they're part of their phone number, you'd find all the ones that just have that phone number. So it gives you the ability to really filter in on what you're looking for. And then when you found the person you're looking for, all you do is bring them up, bring up their information. You could tell them over the phone, give them advice about what their results were over the phone if you wanted to, or just click the email report button again and it'll email it. And then one other thing that I think is a nice feature is we allow you to sort by status. And so received, I mentioned kind of earlier, received is all the work that's in your lab that's been given to you by a customer, the date that it was given to you by that customer, and but yet hasn't been reported out to that customer. So this is all the work that you're probably trying to track, make sure you get it out the door. Obviously, this is a demo, and so
Yeah.
you see that I haven't done something since January. That probably would never happen in your lab, but it's I think it's a powerful feature to help make sure you're getting all the work tracked.
Yep. All right.
Well, thanks for watching. If you're interested in signing up, just fill out the form at the bottom of the webpage and we'll contact you and get you signed up. Signing up can be done as little as a few days. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. I appreciate your time.